Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Burris, and I am the CEO and founder of Sisadmin. We are a leading IT managed service in the Seattle Puget Sound area. Today, I have another leadership topic I wanted to talk about. Pretty soon, they're going to start slowly moving us back to our offices. And I want to talk about what that will look like and what are the things you should be thinking about and planning to be prepared for that. So basically, what are the possible outcomes? So what are the different factors, right? And when is the right time to go back? What are the changes that you're going to have to make? I have some suggestions, but that's just enough to kind of get your juices flowing. You're going to have to figure out your own plan. What are the possible outcomes? So I read an article from Newsweek that says we're going to have to do social distancing until 2022. So here's the article, you can go look it up. But I also talked to other people and reading other articles, and there are other factors that may mean, yeah, maybe we do some social distancing, but it'll just be in a different way. The government will be letting us go back soon. They're working on better testing, and all privacy concerns aside, they're working on ways to track where the COVID breakouts have been so that you know if you've been there, you should quarantine or go get tested. And of course, they're working on not just the vaccine, but how do we treat this virus, right? So all of those things are factors in what it's going to be like to move back to the office. So one of the things that I like to think about, what are the things to consider? And we've been talking to a lot of leaders in the community. And in fact, Craig was on a speaker panel, and one of the people in the audience was from overseas. They've opened up their country again, but staff don't necessarily want to go back to work yet. They still don't feel safe. And then there's the other side that people can't wait to get out of the house. And so you've got to balance those two, because there's good and bad in both of those, right? And so you got to figure out what's right for your business. The school closing, grandparents hunkering down, not visiting their grandchildren. There's going to be staff that don't have childcare. So how are you going to work around that? Upon returning, you need some safeguards so that if you end up getting an outbreak in your office and you have many people sick, that's not only going to hurt your reputation, but it's going to make it hard to do your job and to be able to fulfill your commitments to your customers. So how are you going to protect when you go back? And then there may be some high risk people that hold positions that need to be done on site. And how are you going to handle that? And are they ones that you can slide somebody else into, or do they hold key roles that make it very difficult to replace? So lots of things to consider while we move on and create our plan. All right, when to go back? Well, some companies will just say, when the government lets us go back, we're going back. Other ones will say, we're working from home fine. Let's just keep it status quo for now until it's really okay out there. And then I think a majority of people will really be somewhere in the middle, where they'll return to work a little bit at a time. The most critical positions go first, and then as things seem safe and seem kind of back to normal, they start bringing people back. We recommend that you create a plan, you think about it and have it so that your staff know exactly what you're expecting and exactly how to perform and to act, right? So as leaders, it's our job to give them confidence and make them feel safe to come to work. So here's some suggestions, and by all means, this is not all the suggestions that are out there. There's lots of things that you can be doing. These are just some to kind of get your brain juices flowing. So separation of workspace, minimum 6 feet apart. We all know that. But if you're got a sea of cubicles, how are you going to do that? If you can't, and you don't have cubicles, it's just the new style where it's just open space for everybody. Maybe you'll have to find some dividers or something to kind of segment off people's space. Cleaning routine. The next one is more frequent cleaning crew, but even that, you're going to need some kind of cleaning routine throughout the day. Some people may feel more secure if you're able to provide masks, hand sanitizer, or gloves. And maybe you can't get some of those things right now, but maybe you can make some kind of cleaning solution or something that will suffice. So I'm sure there's plenty of things within there. A lot of people are making masks now. Just look to see that they are ones that are really going to protect. Rotating work hours, that's another idea to reduce the number of people in the office. You can find a way to have some people working like 2 or 3 days a week, and that may be a way to have every other cubicle or desk space in the office. And then, somebody else was saying that a place where they have a lot of traffic going in and out doors, maybe changing their doors to being automatic doors or even push doors. Now, if it's just going to last a few months, then that's probably not going to happen. But if this really does go on for, month after month, that may become something that's, a real possibility. Hand sanitizer, once we can get some hand sanitizer, I think that those hand sanitizer stations will probably replace the old water cooler and will become a normal staple. So here's your to-dos, leadership team. Identify in your staff who are the essential, maybe not people, but positions. Are the people that are currently doing those positions at-risk people? And if they are, how are you going to mitigate that? For your other staff, will you allow them to rotate in and come when they want, or only when you need them to come in? So that when the governor says it's open, you're going to have people that are going to have opinions about what they want to do. And it's best that you choose what's best for your business ahead of time so that they know what to expect. If your staff member is deemed and maybe you're not going to know all their medical, but that they're over, 60, they're a smoker, those are obvious things. If they are deemed as at risk, are you going to allow them to come back to work? And, what HR ramifications are there around that? If staff come to you and say they're at risk and they need to either stay home or stay on layoff, are you going to allow that? Do you have to hire somebody in replace? Are you going to require a doctor's note to be able to do that? Those things need to be thought of ahead of time. Are there processes you still need to rework? So if you have people that are either critical or essential and somebody else has to fill them, how is the process going to have to change to fit that? Or maybe you have to change your process in your warehouse to be able to keep people from 6 feet apart. Or maybe you have to change how you're communicating, working with your clients to be able to keep them at a safe distance. There are probably many processes within your organization that you've already found and identified, but some of them might be sustainable for a short period of time like we are now, but what if it drags on longer? What are some additional processes you're going to have to find a better way to do, again, if it lasts longer? So put all your thoughts and create a plan. So thinking about your clients again, you want to add more value to your customer, but also at the same time be respectful of them and adding social distancing. You'll need to look at your industry and see what that new added value is, because I can tell you that things have changed and their wants and needs are changing as well. So what is it that will put you ahead of the curve? If you act on those things quickly, it will. Choose ahead of time your plan for staff if they're refusing to come when you need them. And in what situations are you okay, and in what situations are you not. If you laid them off and they don't come to work and don't give you a reason, those decisions just, you're going to have to look at what can the company afford and what can't they. Look at the floor plan, your spacing. How will you keep people 6 feet apart? We've talked about some of those things, but like if you're manufacturing and you've got, an assembly line or something, some of it could be a little more difficult to keep people apart and to keep what they touch apart too. So, we know that this virus stays on packaging and cardboard even longer than many other surfaces. So, how are you going to deal with that? A lot of people are saying, hey, look, this working out of the office is working great. I don't need as much office space anymore. I don't want to go back to the office. So, if that's the case, when you're doing your space in your office, is there a way you can reduce your lease? Is there a way that you can maybe sublease some of what you have? This could be a complete shift in your organization and how you function. So give that some thought. So we are actually going to have a roundtable on this very subject on April 28th. And I want to bring other leaders in the industry together and have a talk about this, because I think it's a great discussion to find out what other people are thinking, because this is just what I was thinking and the things that I've read. I know there are a lot of ideas out there, and I think that everybody can benefit from joining together and brainstorming this issue. I think it's very timely because May 4th, we're supposed to hear one way or another if it's going to extend it, or if we're going to be allowed to have maybe the first phase of people going back to work. I hope that you will join us. If you are interested in coming to the roundtable and to talk about this, email address is there, info@sisadmin.com, and we'd love to have you. Have a wonderful day and stay safe.